Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning trading session. What a ride yesterday was. My goodness, the market made substantial moves lower and then in the afternoon a big move higher. I didn't see that one coming. I thought we were going to see the market range for the rest of the session. But it was a crazy ride, very profitable ride too. Nice, smooth moves. We did have a little bit of sideways trading through the lunch hour, but then in the afternoon, the market just took off the other way, never looked back. So we'll see what gives today. A lot of times when you have a day that's been a strong rally day, the next day often will fall flat. So we'll give them a few minutes here to settle in a bit, see if we can't figure out which way they might be going. While I have you, and while I think that I will be out of town on Monday, so there will be no trading room on Monday. Just so you know. Well, we're kind of in a holding pattern here. We've got a first micro-macro cross lower. This occurred right out of the opening bell, or right on the opening bell. I suppose the first micro-macro cross, it being a high probability signal, is always worth a try. I'm getting a pretty late entry on this one, trying to enter below this swing low, as you can see. And it's almost formed a 4-arrow consolidation. If I get, what time is it? Oh gosh, it's only 4 minutes into the session. I don't usually like to trade this early. I like to have a little bit more structure around me. Okay, this now setting up to be a 4-arrow consolidation and a possible short. So there's the signal. It just got triggered. With the, you can see I'm giving up about half the profit objective before I even attempt to gain entry. We'll see in a moment whether that's a good idea or not. Oh, wow! And I was going to say I was going to try to run this trade out a little bit, but I didn't get a chance. The market just flew lower. Let's see, how badly did I get slipped? Oh, look at that, positive slippage. Gotta like that. We like positive slippage. And it's a bit of a shame I couldn't ride that one a little bit further, but oh well. Still put money back in the account. That's the name of the game. It looks like at the same time that was happening, we were getting a trend change signal here on the Falcon. Actually, the Falcon gave us the signal right on the open bell. Came back with a little bit of a trend line touch, and the market fell off quickly. No signal really in the Eagle, and here we are now with the Raptor giving us a, pardon me, a crossover signal. Now this might be worth waiting for the second push opportunity. So the second push simply means we allow the signal to engage, as it has done here, and we let it flinch or retreat, however you want to describe it. It's a little bit out of reach. Can I cover it above the high? No, I can't. What's going on? Well, I may have to wait for a tighter setup. Or I just take my chances. Oh, there we go. A little wishy-washy here right now. So we produced the with trend signal, or the new trend signal. Now we're producing a counter trend signal. A little bit of follow through on that one. Certainly enough, I think, to find the profit target. Yep, just hit the high probability profit target, and now we're seeing a little bit of a reaction to that as a result. first micro macro cross higher. Or at least the warning dot. We don't have the signal just yet. All right, so the first micro macro cross signal did printed right here where we had that major sell-off. Well, major. That very quick sell-off off that 4-arrow consolidation. Therefore, if you're looking at taking that first micro macro cross, you probably need to cover the trade below the swing low. Or you can try to enter on the second push. That might allow you to get by with a slightly closer stop. Seems fairly obvious this 5900, 5902 area is going to be pretty sticky. I think it's been a number that we've been watching for a few days now. Oh, they're rolling over a little bit here. I wouldn't mind getting a sell signal here on the Raptor. We've kind of blown through the hard edge, but again, given the proximity to where the market reversed before, excuse me a moment. Sorry. Given the proximity to where the market reversed before, I might consider this a hard edge bounce. If, of course, we got a sell signal, which at the moment we don't. In fact, we're working a possible cloud crossover. That's the #1 signal to the upside. Are they going to give me that signal? Okay, so The hawk now into yellow bars. This also producing a 4-arrow consolidation to buy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if the market engages a signal, we would anticipate at least a little bit of an uptick, enough to hit our high probability target, which would be just shy of 59.15. We're also getting an in-sync eagle signal with the chance for a second push entry on this one. It is against the ATR. Oops, they kind of ran away on me there, stinkers. The ATR is now flipped over, so that effectively makes this your signal bar. And now we're back in holding mode. The E-mini really holding on to the lows. Here's the E-mini on the Raptor. And you can see the E-mini really holding this 24, 70, 71 area through this morning, through yesterday, toward the close. Another reaction here. So, excuse me, the E-mini giving us the same kind of look, well, a similar look, I should say, as the NASDAQ. The E-mini not quite as volatile this morning. The NASDAQ hopping around a little bit more. All right, so here on the Hawk, we have a late filter entry. Here on the Raptor, we have a hard edge sell forming. I'll show you the Raptor trade first for you Raptor traders. So we've got the soft edge sell, cloud crossover, that's the number one signal. Retreats, comes back, hits the hard edge, and now it's trying to produce a hard edge sell. We have the added benefit of a second push opportunity. All right, let's see whether they can follow through on this now. And you know what? I'm not going to give them too much room on this trade. No, can't go to the ATR. No, can't go to that one. We'll just go to the bar high low. There we go. I'm not going to give them a lot of room. They're either going to break out to the short side here, or they're going to bounce, in which case I need to leave. All right, almost down to the break even. Come on. Actually, you know what? That's close enough. I'm going to force it to break even. All right, so I took a break even stop out there. It may turn out to be premature, but I don't expect the market to zip down to my profit objective, but I do anticipate it to make a steady like progression, which I wasn't really seeing. So we'll put that. Oh, now they're going to go. And I realized I was very aggressive with that trade. So here we are again in this 5902, 5900 zone. And we did get a little bit more momentum this time. Just enough to break 5900 anyway. All right, so we've slipped down to the primary support zone. That's this blue line right here. We'll see whether they offer the market any kind of support. Here on the Geiger counter, you can see all the selling volume that went through the market, and it's since subsided somewhat. We do have the Geiger counter pulling a little bit to the buy side. Ooh. Making a couple of ticks lower still. So it looks like our first in-sync eagle signal of the day paid off. I was trying to get on board this green bar sell. It slipped past me, but did get a follow-up signal, which was nice. Sure thing. Elmer's got a question here. Elmer asks, good morning, Eric. Well, good morning, Elmer. Elmer says, I played a bit with the OCO in Sim and got some weird reactions. For example, it puts up a break-even trigger but no target and stop. But if break-even is hit, a stop is put on manually. Does not, or pardon me, if a break-even is hit, a stop put on manually does not move. Could you show the settings again if there's time? Yes. Okay. So the OCO button is right up here. So when it's blue or teal, it's on. When it's grayed out, it's off. When you use your OCO function, we're not going to use this part to place our trades. We are going to right-click on the chart, and then we will select our buy and sell orders from the menu, from the drop-down menu. These orders are live as soon as you put them on your chart. So what I have a tendency to do is place them a little bit further away and then drag them into where I want them to be. Let's say we'll put it right there. And we'll put this one right here. So what happened to Elmer is he did this, the market engaged the order, but he didn't get a profit target or a stop loss. That's because your trail indicator was not enabled. So if you select a stop strategy and you enable it, now you have it set up that Trade Manager will use this as your stop. If you do not have a stop selected, after the first bar completes, Trade Manager will give you a default stop, and that will be a default stop of 10 ticks. And I'm going to show you how to change that here in just a moment. Okay, they're not doing anything, so I might have a chance to go to your strategies window. Now, of course, before you can make any changes to the Trade Manager, you have to turn the Enable tab to false, and you need to apply that. I'm not going to do that right now, but that's what you need to do. And then you're going to go up here to the very top, and there's a heading, Invalid Trail Stop Ticks. And yours will be set at 10. I've set mine at 30. I suggest you set it at a larger amount versus a smaller amount. What that's going to do is it's just going to give you a default stop. Once that stop is on, you can adjust it. But if it's a 10-tick stop, let's say we get filled to the buy side, it's going to print like right there. If the market makes even a little bit of a hiccup, you're not going to have any chance to adjust it. So with a 30-tick stop, at least you get a chance to do something, right? You get a chance to grab the stop, bring it in, select a stop strategy, whatever. And like I said, it could be 50 ticks, it could be 40, whatever you choose. All right, so let's see now if how this works. We've got everything enabled, and it should bring us in and cancel this order and give us a stop according to my selected stop strategy. All right, so there we go. Now, we don't have a target because I'm running a 50-50 split. If I ran a 100% all in, all out type trade, the Trade Manager should give me a target as well. Now, once the trade is underway, you can treat it like any other trade. You can take your stops, you can move them around, you can adjust your profit targets, so on and so forth, right? You can move everything around the way you want it. But that's what happened, Elmer. Dollars to Donuts, your trail indicator tab was not enabled. This is your on-off switch for your trade. When that's turned on, then everything will work correctly. And let's just see whether we can sneak a couple dollars out of this little OCO order. We're getting a test of the extreme now. If we come back with this, we will produce another buy signal. That will be our soft edge buy. But I have to tell you, the market is in a downtrend today, so I'm not too keen on counter trend trades. Elmer says, many thanks. Looks like people who can read manuals do have an advantage. That's my bad because the Raptor manual has not been updated. But I will go over it as often as you need me to here in the trade room. So honestly, anybody, if you're having difficulty with something, you don't understand something, please ask. Really, I'll go over it as often as you need me to. And it looks like the sellers are coming back here. Come on. What happened to the buyers? So we're getting, I could consider this a hard edge bounce, even though we're a couple of ticks short of the hard edge. You may say, well, technically that's not a hard edge bounce. Well, technically you would be correct. All right, so there's how your OCO function works. We didn't have some very good signals there. The Raptor pseudo hard edge bounce was a pretty good signal. Looks like here on the Hawk we had a red bar buy that we could have sold the failure of. The red bar buy, not to be confused with the red bar buy in the Eagle, which is actually a very strong signal. The red bar buy in the Hawk tends to develop near the end of a trend. In this case, an uptrend, so a very, very short-lived uptrend. And now we're getting, oop, don't run away on me, we're getting a first micro-macro cross signal lower. I would have to cover it up there. We could also enter below the low. You know, given that the market's fallen off a little bit, perhaps you feel better with postponing your entry below the low a little bit. That's fair too. put that back on the shelf for the moment. Okay, they're gonna. Oh, I thought they were gonna give us a poke through the low there for a second. A little bit of a retreat. All right, I'm going to cancel this order. We're coming now with a possible macro pullback. So with the macro pullback, I haven't focused on this for a while, but the macro pullback occurs when everything stays in sync except the micro line. The micro line changes color, and this is your macro pullback signal. Excuse me. The smoke from the forest fires in the interior of the province, the winds have shifted and they've blown over us, so oops. Adam has a quick question for me. All right, Adam, what do you want? So the smoke from the forest fires, we have kind of a hazy, smoky kind of day today. Makes for some pretty incredible sunrises and sunsets, very, very red sunrises and sunsets. But even though it's not heavy smoke, it still kind of catches in the back of your throat. So I find myself clearing my throat a lot. All right, so they're thinking about it. Another 4-arrow consolidation, by the way, here in the Hawk. If you wanted a quick, oh shoot, they're going to run on me again. If you wanted a quick little scalp, there it was for you. As these 4-arrow consolidations, very, very powerful patterns on the Hawk, especially when they have this flag type shape to them. this being a little bit like a bear flag. See, here we do it again. And the market will have a tendency to break out on that fourth signal. Where was the other one we were watching? Oh, right here. This one had more of a sideways channel formation, and that's okay. The 4-arrow consolidations I don't like are the ones where if we had a downtrend, they kind of form like this. There is still a chance that the market will break out lower, but they're not as reliable, I don't think, as the bear flag or bull flag style. And it looks like we've also found our profit objective, so hooray for us. And now we're waiting. We're only 45 minutes into the session, but lots going on already. Okay, I'm going to do a little survey before we close out the trading room today, so remind me. The question is, would you prefer a written or video user manual? Elmer got me thinking here about trade manuals. You don't need to answer now. I will post that little survey before the close of the room, and then you can give me your 2 cents. Yeah, Stephen says both. I didn't give you that option. I did a similar survey once, and the webmaster took it upon herself to offer the option of both. No. I know if you're given the option, of course you would want both. I would want both. If you had to choose, if you only had one or the other, which would you find more helpful? Yeah, I was a little ticked off when she did that because the survey results were useless. And guess what everybody answered? Oh, give me both. Yeah, great. That doesn't help me. I have a prediction which way the results will go, and we'll see. We'll see at the end of today's session. Oh, I'm wondering here that we got something resembling a soft edge buy signal. Not much of a test of the extreme. This is, well, it's depending how you're going to look at it. Traditionally, the test of the extreme looks like this, right? The market comes down, tries to retest the lows, and then turns, and that's our cue to buy. Occasionally, the market will bottom out, make one more push lower, and then head higher. If this swing lower is not substantially lower than this one, the Raptor will consider this a soft edge buy signal, and it will give you a print a number 2 signal. Shoot, we're almost into the hard edge too. That would have been my profit objective. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, back to the hard edge for the eagle. First micro macro cross higher on the hawk, and working a trend change signal here on the falcon. So we got a little mixed bag of things going on here right now. All right, let's give it a go. Into the hard edge. Are you going to give me a second push? Oop. Can I cover it there? Oh, just squeaking in. And of course, the reason I'm looking to cover below the low is that I haven't had a really big retest. Oop, Elmer says, could your screen be frozen? Yes, it could. And why is that? Okay, that should be better. Sorry, folks, don't know what happened there. All right, let's see if we get any follow through now on the buy side. This 58.80 area, by the way, is where the market started to pick up its rally yesterday. If you were watching the market in the afternoon, see, here we are, 58.80. 85, we produced the signal, and up they went. So looking for a little bit of that. Looking for a little bit of buying to come back into the market. The primary support line is giving me pause, but we'll see if we can't hobble on through that. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Keep going. come the sellers again. Come on. Geiger counter pulling hard here to the buy side, which is encouraging. But we got to get some follow through. Of course, as I mentioned yesterday, here's the big problem with counter trend trades, of course, is well, first off, they're counter trend. And secondly, they eliminate the possibility of a with trend signal, which is annoying. All right, get up there. You can do it. Come on, just one more push. There we go. Getting my stop ready. If the bar finishes here and breaks this little high, that little swing high, I'm going to go move to the more aggressive bar high-low strategy. Really take a lot of risk out of the trade. First, there we go. Come on. You're doing so well. Don't stop now. Come on. Oh, come on. The proper stop, by the way, is still way back here. No, I think they're going to tag me here in a second. making me work for it. Come on, get up there. Let's go. Get going. Wow, what an obstacle 58.95 is. That's going to be a number we want to remember. Probably going to come into play tomorrow, maybe even during Monday's session, even though I will not be here on Monday. Just a reminder, I am out of town Monday. All right, so the trade now at break even. Can breathe a little easier. And with a little bit of luck and maybe some market manipulation with my mouse, I'll be able to get to the profit target. I'm curious. Aha! There's the culprit. We're right near that trend line, which is causing a little bit of grief. All right, well, now we're back on hold. The Hawk actually giving us a couple of decent signals there with a little bit of follow through. The Raptor trade, as you saw, we had to work that one a little bit. Not much going on right now, though. We can anticipate a bounce off of the hard edge now that we've drifted back into the hard edge. prices starting to get a slightly more bullish flavor to them. Ever so slightly, though. I wouldn't go too crazy on the buy side at the moment. In fact, you could look for, like I said, a reaction to the hard edge here on the Eagle. Same thing here on the Raptor. We've moved into the hard edge. Our faster cloud is a little bit mixed up with the slower cloud, but it may come out of here and produce a sell signal, which may be worth taking. Speaking of OCO orders, here's a OCO type opportunity. We've got a market that's rather congested right now, right? So we can look to buy above this little high, maybe sell below the low here. This time I'll show you what happens with the OCO if we don't have, excuse me, if we don't have our orders engaged. How this will play out. Very happy market. It's not at all interested in moving from here. It really likes it where it is right now. The Geiger counter perfectly balanced as well. Or it was. No, Elmer, I'm going to show you. Elmer says you don't have a stop enabled. No, I don't. I'm going to show you what happens if you don't have your indicator, trail indicator enabled, switched on. So the sideways congestion continues. This is not the type of trade that I normally favor, by the way. These little sideways channel type breakouts. Sometimes they work just fine, but not always. As a good trading friend of mine always used to say, never trust a breakout. That's why most times what we'll do is, if we expect the market is in a sideways range, as it is here, I will allow it to break, retest, and then show me that it can stay out, and then I'll look for that buy signal, and likewise to the short side. All right, looks like they might fill us here to the long side, or not. Well, if they don't fill me soon, I'm going to bring the orders in closer. But if you're going to try to do this breakout for real, these are probably pretty good parameters. All right, so here we go. We got fill to the buy side, eliminated the other order, the sell order. We have a break-even target, but no stop. In order to put a trailing stop in play now. I just need to select a stop strategy, click enabled, and then accept, and you'll see that trade manager gives me my stop. I've hit the break even, so I'm going to take the trade to break even manually. And there you go. That's all there's to it. Oh, don't flinch. Come on, let's go. This is that retest I was telling you about, right? When the market breaks out of a range, here's the retest. I'm hoping it doesn't look back too far. A lot of times what happens is the market will go up a couple of bars and then retest. And that sometimes means that the retest will not be as deep. And then it will start to go. No! Shoot. Okay, but there's how you handle your OCO order if you forget to turn your stop on. Now that we've moved here to the upside, we may see a pullback into the cloud, the market bounce out. All right, so here's the pullback now. We're getting a red bar buy, or the makings of a red bar buy signal here in the hawk. All right, so sorry, I was looking elsewhere. I didn't notice that the red bar buy signal actually tripped already. And what I would be looking for here is a test of the extreme, just a little bit of a quick move higher. I wouldn't go in this heavy though. The market's kind of winding down from the morning session. Here, let's show it on the hash mark. I'd probably risk it back to the crest in the macro line. And just looking for a quick little uptick. And there you go. Voila! As they like to say in the French restaurant. Well, now we're kind of sideways. I was going to say we could look to short the red bar buy signal. So here's the red bar buy signal. It's also the counter trend signal on the hawk. So if the market fails here and starts to head lower, we can certainly look to sell once the market breaks through those lows. But I've got to meet with Ben at the top of the hour, so I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to run the survey, and you can have your input, and then we're going to call it a day. And what we'll do, of course, we'll meet again tomorrow. And once more, a reminder, no trading room on Monday. I'm out of town on Monday. Give everybody a chance here to cast their vote. Your input really is appreciated. Looks like only a third of you have voted so far. So if a couple more people want to give their 2 cents worth before I close up the poll. And then I'll tell you how I imagine the poll to finish. We'll just give it a minute here. I can see only half of you have voted. I don't know who's voting, but I get a statistic about how many people in the room have voted. All right, well, it looks like it's a 60-40 split, which is a little bit surprising because very often when I do a poll like this, it works out a 50-50 dead even split. So Like I said, your input is appreciated. And I will catch you tomorrow. We will talk to you then. Bye for now.